Hello, I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, North American Correspondent for Buddhistdoor Global. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's talk is Feeding Ourselves, Feeding Others. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. We harvested almost 250 pounds of produce this year here on the homestead. Carrots, onions, potatoes, green beans, etc. And it was great fun, very enjoyable. We ate what we could, we canned the rest. And we still had some left over, which has been a real joy because we've been able to share food with our friends and with our family. And there's really nothing like the satisfaction you get from giving someone a big bag of tomatoes and saying, "Here, enjoy." But as I was thinking about this and the way it relates to Dharma, I see the two are interconnected. Because as we grow the garden, expanding it with more garden beds, fertilizing the soil to increase the yield of each bed, we have more food, which means we ourselves eat better. It also means we have more to share with the people in our lives. The harder we work on our own personal garden, the more we're able to help the people around us. And the same is true of our Buddhist practice, our own spiritual nature, if you will, our spiritual fuel that allows us to be sympathetic and compassionate towards other people must be cultivated and nourished. We must grow it just like a garden. And we do this through the traditional Buddhist practices of prostrations, meditation, chanting, and sutra study. As we do this, we grow our own spiritual practice, our own spiritual power, and nourish ourselves, but we also have excess compassion, excess sympathy, excess joy, which we can then share with the people in our lives. We can give it to them in the same way we might give them a bag of tomatoes from the garden. Thus, when we practice, we not only practice for ourselves, we practice for all sentient beings because we're ensuring that when the moment arises, we have everything we need to end suffering, not just for ourselves, but for all sentient beings, whether that be with a bag of food from the garden or a hug or a kind word. Any extension of compassion or sympathy that we stored up in ourselves through our Buddhist practice. Amitabha.